She was the face of innocence, beauty, and Hollywood's brightest promise. But her life ended in one of the most gruesome and shocking events ever witnessed in Hollywood history. This tragedy still chills the hearts of those who remember her name, Sharon Tate.
5 persons, including actress Sharon Tate, were found dead at the home of Miss Tate and her husband, screen director Roman Polanski.
What really happened that fateful night in 1969? Why was Sharon Tate, an innocent actress on the brink of motherhood, targeted in such a senseless act of violence? And who were the shadows lurking behind the scenes of her short-lived life, leading her to one of Hollywood's darkest chapters?
After you knew what that had happened at Sharon Tate's, the most brutal murder, what'd you think about Sharon Tate and her unborn baby?
What did I think about it? Tell me about care. I don't know what care is, man.
Sharon Marie Tate was born on January 24, 1943, in Dallas, Texas. Even as a baby, she was destined to capture the world's attention. Her beauty was apparent from the start. Her first title, Miss Tiny Tot of Dallas. But behind the pageant smiles and glamorous life, there was a girl searching for something more. Her father, an Army officer, moved the family from city to city and country to country, Italy, Texas, Washington. It was in Italy, as a teenager, where Sharon first found her passion for acting and modeling. Her stunning looks caught the attention of talent scouts, and Hollywood was calling. She was on the verge of something big. By the late 1960s, Sharon Tate was more than just a pretty face. She was poised to become Hollywood's next big thing. From her breakthrough in Eye of the Devil to her star-making role in Valley of the Dolls, she seemed to have it all. A movie career, a place in the spotlight, and a love story straight out of a fairy tale. Her whirlwind romance with filmmaker Roman Polanski had the tabloids buzzing. The two were an odd but fascinating pair, Sharon, the golden girl, and Roman, the dark avant-garde director. But as their love story unfolded, so did a shadow that would forever haunt her fate. What no one knew, what even Sharon herself could never imagine, was that her dream life would take a deadly turn. While she and Roman enjoyed their newfound life at 10,050 Cielo Drive, something sinister was brewing nearby. And it all traced back to one man, a man who was rejected by Hollywood and harbored a grudge against society. That man was Charles Manson. But what made Sharon's house the target? What was Manson truly after? It was August 8, 1969. Sharon was at home, surrounded by friends, eagerly awaiting the birth of her child. She had everything to look forward to. But little did she know that the next few hours would descend into horror. The Manson family, under the influence of Charles Manson, invaded Sharon's home with unspeakable violence. Jay Sebring, Abigail Folger, Wojciech Frykowski, each one of them was brutally murdered. Sharon, pleading for the life of her unborn child, was mercilessly stabbed 16 times, and the world would never forget the terror of that night. Sharon Tate's murder marked the end of an era in Hollywood. The innocence of the 60s was shattered, replaced with fear, confusion, and darkness. For Roman Polanski, the loss was devastating, but it was only the beginning of his own controversial future. But it wasn't just Roman who was left haunted. Sharon's mother, Doris Tate, became a warrior for justice, fighting to keep the Manson family behind bars, ensuring that her daughter's murderers would never walk free. And through it all, Sharon's memory lived on, her beauty, her grace, and the life that was cruelly stolen from her. But here's where the mystery deepens. Why was Sharon Tate's home the target of this horrific crime? Was it just a random act of senseless violence? It turns out, the house once belonged to a man who Charles Manson despised, Terry Melcher, a music producer who had rejected Manson's musical ambitions. Manson sent his followers there, believing it was still Melcher's residence. What followed was pure chaos, and an innocent actress found herself caught in the deadly crossfire of a madman's revenge. Sharon Tate's life was one of beauty and potential, but it ended in senseless violence, leaving behind a story that continues to fascinate and haunt Hollywood. Her tragic fate will forever be a reminder that even the brightest stars can be consumed by the darkest shadows. Her legacy remains, but so does the question, what if Sharon Tate had never opened the door that night?